Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. How pathetic can some people be?
I was drinking. Everybody drinking alcohol tonight? Yeah? I was drinking scotch earlier. I drink until I pass out. I don't know how many people do that. When I was in... just that one sad girl. It's like, yeah. I drink until I pass out. In college, every time I drank, I would pass out. Like every single... It's like my thing, you know? It got to the point where even before I went out, I'd go ahead and draw on my face. Because it was going to happen eventually. Some of you didn't laugh at that joke. That's because you can trust your friends. Some of you did laugh at that joke. That's because when you're passed out, your friends think it's hilarious to draw a penis on your face. Some of you laughed really hard at that joke. You're the people that draw on people's faces. So if you're sitting next to somebody who laughed really hard, you may want to ease off your Long Island iced tea before they go Michelangelo on your ass.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Was partying, did you go to parties in high school, Cameron? I mean...
I didn't start going to parties until my senior year.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, me too. I didn't really. And,
Independence had parties?
No, it was just, I finally got friends.
I'm glad that you're not just a dick to me, Jeff. It's important when you're young to go to parties and be social, right? I mean, and I guess during a pandemic, it's really tough to, have to stay away from your friends and all this kind of stuff. They're calling these super spreader parties. This happened. You probably heard about it on the news last night. 158 people were arrested at a massive house party down in Los Angeles. I think something like 38 of them were juveniles.
That's house party music.
Yeah, that is house party music. Here's a little bit more from Channel 7, ABC down there, wherever.
Annabelle Munoz with a warning from LA City and county officials about these underground parties.
As health officials tighten restrictions to curb the spread of COVID-19, law enforcement warns underground parties are ongoing super spreader events across Southern California.
We just filed in recent days this lawsuit against the property owners at a location where we allege is an illegal nightclub operating.
LA City Attorney Mike Fewer says the downtown location is associated with recent shootings, robberies, and assaults. Eyewitness News has received messages from concerned residents who learn about underground parties taking place, ignoring public health warnings. And authorities say these massive parties are not uncommon, even through the pandemic.
And I know there's been in the Hollywood Hills, for example. We have one location in, I think it's Acton, that's a frequent target of these events or subject of these events. We get a lot of complaints from community members.
LA County Sheriff Alex Villanueva says over the weekend, law enforcement arrested more than 150 people, including dozens of minors, at a vacant home in Palmdale Saturday night. He displayed a photo of several firearms he says were recovered during the operation.
We're able to rescue a girl who was present and categorized as a commercially sexually exploited child.
Okay, well, anyways, and it gets pretty dark from there.
That's terrible.
What?
I mean, here's the thing, okay? I know the timeline for Michael Bay in Songbird was 4 years. I think we're quickly getting there. I think he may have undershot the 4-year doomsday scenario
now, the
by
original
about 2 years.
Story I'm talking about, they're talking about a number of different parties there. The one I'm talking about was put on by a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds. There was no firearms found at this party, and there was no underage sexual stuff going on. But there were 38 juveniles that were arrested. They were just trying to have a party. And obviously going in and shutting them down and turning off their power and because we've heard that story from the social media guru, whatever, that was throwing parties back in the spring and early summer, is not enough. There's got to be another way we can go in there and we can do something to make sure these people don't continue to do it. And I think what it is you tent them. Not physically, but you go in and you don't let them leave.
So, like,
you make them quarantine there for 2 weeks.
Cameron, have you ever tried smoking a cigarette?
Have I? See, actually, I think we're on the same page. We do what our parents used to do to us when they found our cigarettes.
Yes.
Make us smoke the entire pack, but instead they have to party for a whole 2 weeks.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, these people don't get to leave.
You like partying? We're going to give you guys some ecstasy and see if that cures coronavirus.
But seriously, lock them in. Don't let anybody leave. And yes, you're going to have to, secure the area and you make sure. But I guarantee you, people won't do that anymore. They will not sit there with two people not being able to change, all having to use the same few bathrooms the house has and showers. You bring them food and water, but they can't leave. They're kind of in camps.
You just say good luck.
And I guarantee you, people aren't going to do that.
Sorry if
anymore.
anybody dies.
Might be a little extreme, but I mean, I don't think these young people. I was thinking,
I was thinking, that you like to party. You're going to party for 17 days. But I think there's another way you can go with this, and that is when you find these parties, you just have like gallons, like Ghostbuster type
slime,
stuff of hand sanitizer, and you just douse them.
You just. Helicopters come in, like, spray them down.
I'm talking like fire hoses of hand sanitizer.
Oh my God, that could have bad effects on people.
Well, you got to catch a nice little buzz. That's just a side effect.
Close your mouth. Hold your breath.
Hey, it's either that or being force-fed ecstasy for 17 days. You choose.
Congratulations to all these underground partiers in Los Angeles. They're only teenagers, but they're Jeff and Jeremy's.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Don't be a dummy when it comes to your landscape supplies. Go to Peterson U-Cart on Gusta Road, just north of Quickie Car Wash in Atascadero.
We load, U-Cart, you save.
We got Whitney hanging out with us. It's Jeff and Jeremy here. It's KZOZ. Well, how has things changed for you in the last week? I know we didn't catch up with you because of the holiday, and then we went purple, and then we went home.
Yeah, gosh, I know. Things have changed only in the way of we feel like we're in some weird version 2 point whatever of what we were in March, but yet there's different rules and regulations, so we're trying to navigate through that and figure out the best communication plan and how we can support our businesses. It's crazy.
So how are the holiday events that you have lined up been impacted by this? I mean, is the mission now no longer, or how's that working?
Good question. So thankfully, everything that we kind of put in place for the holidays was with the intention of it being like the safest outdoor walking environment that we could create. So everything holiday-wise is still operational as of now. So with the new restrictions, Governor Newsom did stress, like it's important for physical activity and keeping, mental health and all that kind of stuff. So we're really stressing, like, if you need to get out of the house, if you need to get some fresh air, enjoy the lights downtown, enjoy the Mission Plaza experiences. None of it is like you don't have to touch anything. There's stickers everywhere that say to keep your distance. There's people on site that's kind of monitoring that so there's not overcrowding. And then we have online activations as well. So if you're not comfortable coming downtown, like if you want to do the search for Santa's mouse with the kids, but you don't want to go walk around, you can do it online. And if you don't want to see the holiday windows downtown, you can see them online. So there's various options, but thankfully everything is still operational for us in terms of the holidays.
How did the wind affect the holiday things earlier this week? 'Cause I was driving by Luna Red, and it was in the windstorm, and it was one of those weird days where I was like trapped inside all day long and not really looking outside. So I had no idea that the wind was crazy. I believe that was on Monday.
Yeah.
And then I was driving across town to pick up my daughter who was at a friend's house. And I was on the phone with somebody, and I'm still not paying attention really as I'm driving. And then all of a sudden I noticed like branches flying across the road, and I got next to the Mission, and a big snowflake hit the side of my car, but not a real snowflake, Jeremy. It was one of the props from the decoration,
yard ornament.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is going on?" What were the casualties from the windstorm on Monday?
I think everything, there was nothing like crazy drastic, like life threatening or anything like that. Thankfully, the event team that we partnered with to do this is professional in terms of like all the rigging apparatuses and whatnot. I think the only like casualty that happened, and it was just a momentary thing, was we have this activation where there's 2 flamingos set up that you could take photos with. They have like Santa hats on, and it's just a whole like California Christmas vibe. And I think they toppled over because they're just like standing there underneath some, they have some weights on them, but they were destined to see the ground. So they hit the deck, but I think they were able to bring them back to life shortly thereafter. But yeah, the wind was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I'm not used to, and I don't think Jeff is either, because we didn't have palm trees growing up in the Northwest, is I'm at California Fresh, and I'm coming out of the store, and I got my groceries, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, and right next to me lands this big piece of palm tree that came up from the top. Have you ever seen this before? You've seen them in the roads, right? It's like a piece of the skin, but it hits the ground. It goes whack, and I about peed myself a little.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that would hurt if it hit somebody.
In the history of this state, there's got to be somebody who died by palm frond.
Yeah, that's what it's called, palm frond. Is that what it is?
Frond. Yes.
Frond? Whatever it is?
Palm frond. It's hard to say.
Somebody had to be taken out by one. Maybe not died, but taken to the hospital or knocked out or knocked down at least.
I'm sure there's some sort of story about that. Aren't there like websites for like crazy extreme deaths and how they've all happened?
Oh gosh.
I'm sure that's a California nightmare somewhere.
Let's not go there though, right?
Yeah,
now.
no.
Let's not go there. We're talking with Whitney Cheney. She's from Downtown SLO. DowntownSLO.com. You said that you can do stuff virtually, or if you're comfortable going downtown, you can go downtown. Now, as far as everybody's talking about restaurants right now. Jeremy said yesterday that one of his friends' places is going out of business. What is, I mean, at this point, you've got to think that as a organization, you've done everything that you possibly can do to this point to make it, accommodating for downtown businesses to survive. From your standpoint, are you starting to get a bit frustrated?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's so stressful for these businesses. I used to be in retail, and the holidays were kind of your bread and butter. And so I just feel for these guys, and it's just, you kind of, you buckled down the first go around, and you're like, okay, we'll get through this. And then for this to happen right now, it's just got to be just the ultimate gut punch. So we've launched a new website, which is like super fast and intuitive and mobile friendly, which will hopefully help people who do want to get takeout, want to get delivery, whatever the case may be, they're able to find those restaurants quicker and at an easier rate. Same with the retail component. But yeah, we feel for them. And if you can buy gift cards, if you can buy dinners, if you have like an anniversary coming up or a birthday or whatever the case may be, like 2020, no rules, like celebrate it now. Make the most of it.
That's Whitney Cheney. DowntownSLO.com is the website, redesigned, ready to go for you. You can access restaurants, things to do for the holidays. Don't forget that website is SLO, SLO holidays.com. We'll have a little bit more coming up.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
So Jeff was telling us yesterday there's some restaurants in Paso Robles that have decided to continue their outdoor dining. And we were like, is anybody doing this that you've heard of? You don't have to mention any names. Have you heard talk about this? Has anybody downtown SLO continuing to do outdoor dining?
I have not heard of anyone doing it downtown. I know it's kind of percolating elsewhere, and I know like Solving just declared it. Like it's definitely like, it's like California is becoming one big speakeasy. But I haven't heard anything. Very weird.
That's okay.
You get to Buellton and you got to give them a password, huh? What's the Paris word?
Yeah, I feel for all these people with their
windmill?
restaurants. And I was saying to Jeff yesterday, I just don't understand why it's okay to go into a store with 25% capacity, but it's not okay to sit outside at a table, where other people are socially distanced from you. A lot of it doesn't make sense, and I think they're kind of making it up as they go, and I think a lot of people are getting frustrated with it, like you just said you were. And so,
yeah, it's tough. So, I mean, we can only do as much as we can. So I can't make sense of it any more than you can. So I'm just going to do what I can control, and that's call and order takeout. If that's what I'm allowed to do, that's what I'll do.
You're not going to rebel and get arrested and fight the cause?
No, unfortunately, I need to lead by example.
Yes. Now, I don't know if you can answer this, and this might put you in an uncomfortable situation. But you are closer to the situation than Jeremy and I are, so I think you could give a more educated answer on this what if scenario. What if one restaurant took that approach of screw it, we've got to stay in business, we're at least opening outdoor dining. How do you see that going down if it was just one? Would others then join aboard, or would they be shamed? Would
they start shaming the people that did it?
Shame the ones that opened up.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I've been seeing other restaurants do it elsewhere, and the response has been so positive from those frustrated consumers that it wouldn't surprise me if they were supported. I don't know. It's crazy. Every city is like this own little bubble of who knows what, but
because it's really strange to me to think that you have such a change in philosophies 30 miles apart.
Totally. I completely agree with you.
10, 15 miles apart.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. It's insanity.
The philosophy from SLO to 5 cities is completely different. Yeah. And I know, but right now, 5 cities restaurants who spent tons of money setting up all these outdoor areas and they've done a nice job with it. I just get the feeling, just watching the news, some of these restaurant owners, that they're they're about ready to say, you know what, we're just going to do it anyways. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Given what you said about, go ahead, Brittany. I'm Whitney. I'm sorry.
I was just going to
call her Brittany.
I always call her Brittany. Get my name right.
I call her Wendy and you call her Brittany. And she still talks to us.
I think a lot has been happening over the last just 48 hours, and I think people are just kind of waiting it out to see what happens in the next 24, to be honest.
Yeah. Solvang leading the charge. That is an interesting city from the standpoint is we had the luxury of going down there during the heated election season, and there was some serious campaigning for city council seats to the point, man, to the point where it was people driving. It was a busy weekend, so people were driving cars around. With blast, shaming their opponents, that person did this, and this, just on poster paper, like a garage sale, poster paper or something like that.
Poster paper.
And I was like, man, this is cutthroat down here in lovely Solvang. But it should be interesting to see how it shakes down after all this. But they're like, nope, we're open. We're staying open. We're doing the thing. To be honest with you, I think we're going to go there this weekend just to check it out because I was in our plans to do it for Christmas before all this.
Yeah.
I think that's all that's going to happen, right? Now everyone's intrigued and they're going to want to check it out. It's the Wild West out there.
So your resources are brand new website, re-injured, ready to go, but the same domain, downtownslo.com. You have restaurant links there. You have all kinds of links to what's going on downtown. And then for the holidays, it's SLOholidays.com. That's slowholidays.com to get all that information. Still up and running. You can still do it socially distanced. So, right. All right, kiddo. We'll talk to you soon.
Watch out for those palm fronds.
Yeah, palm from up.
Thanks.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.